Hey guys, Mike here from Sell Your Service. Welcome to another training video. Today we are going to talk about how to plan your marketing funnels for both you and for your customers to make sure that they're as high converting as possible. And I'm going to go over a few of the big roadblocks that people tend to come across when they're planning funnels. The problem is that we tend to jump straight into the tools, okay? We tend to jump straight into the software. We look at page builders, copy, email, stuff like that. And the reality is that this can actually prevent us from going the correct path, because often using our tools and software and funnel builders and themes and plugins and stuff, that makes us think that we're doing the proper work, and planning stuff out can seem quite boring. Now, what we want to end up looking at is a way for us to be able to make sure that all of our content is going to be high converting, our sales pages are going to be high converting, that our funnel overall is high converting. But how do we do that without just jumping in the tools and software? Well, we have a line of questions that we're going to ask. It's only 4 of them, and they're going to make sure that we create high converting marketing funnels for sales, for calls to action, whatever it is that we're going to try and get our audience members to do. So number one, you need to think about what is the end goal. Okay, so we need to understand what the call to action is. The reason this is so important is that if we don't know what we ultimately want someone to do, we've got absolutely no idea on how it is that we're going to be getting there. There's this concept of you can't get something for nothing. Napoleon Hill talks about it a lot in his book, Think and Grow Rich, whereby you can't ask the universe to give you things like sales, customers, email subscribers, Twitter followers, whatever it is that you want, the action that you want from the world around you, be it from your audience, from your customers, from your leads, whoever. You can't ask for that without giving something in return. Now, we don't know what to give unless we know what we're asking for. So you have to be really, really clear on what it is that you're asking for from your audience. Now, if it's for them to sign up to an email newsletter via a lead magnet, that's the end goal that we need to know about. If it's for them to buy a high ticket item, you know, like a marketing funnel or a website or something that's $10, $15, $100,000, if it's an ebook, whatever it is, we need to know what it is that we're asking for from them. Do we need an investment from them? Do we need them to purchase? Do we need them to subscribe? Because we also really want to know what it is that we're going to give in exchange for that. So first things first, what is the end goal that you've got? Start at the end and work backwards from there. If you know that you're going to say, do you know what? I want to make sure, and my end goal is to sell a $1,000 course. That's absolutely fantastic. The more we know about what it is that we want someone to do, we know what it is that we need to do to get them there. So number 2, the second thing we then think about is we go back to the front of the funnel, and we often use this as a kind of a troubleshooting stage. We might look at a funnel and think, why isn't this converting very high? What's going on? What's wrong with how we've set this up? And we think about how someone has got in front of the goal that we've put before them. For example, if one of our goals is to drive email subscribers via a lead magnet, we might think that directing people straight from Twitter links and blog and Facebook links and organic social media to go through to that blog post, that might be a fantastic idea, and that might be a really great way to understand that, yeah, that's probably going to work out as a conversion rate. However, on the other side, if we just have a bunch of cold email traffic from a list that we've bought, and we just drive a ton of traffic from that email list to a sales page, that's not going to convert. So we have to understand how has someone got to this stage beforehand. And also, this is a really great way for us to be able to think about the difference between warm traffic and cold traffic. Warm traffic is traffic and people that are going to be coming to your site regularly, know who you are. They're going to be visiting you. They know what your website does. They know about the blog posts, all the kind of content that you're putting out there. If you make sure that your traffic sources suit the types of warm traffic that you're actually going to be sending to that page, your conversion rates are going to go up. It seems really, really obvious, but often we'll find straight away when we look into the funnels that our customers have built, they'll have a nice sales page, and what they're doing is driving cold Google AdWord PPC traffic straight to that sales page, and the conversion rates most of the time don't work out. There are some industries that we've worked in, for example, insurance and healthcare, that actually do have relatively high conversion rates from driving cold traffic straight to a sales page. It does work, but on the other side, we also might choose another traffic source like remarketing to get people to that stage. So the goal here is knowing that all traffic sources are not the same depending on the goal or the call to action that we want someone to take. Paid social, for example, social PPC, paid social, paid Facebook ads, paid LinkedIn ads, driving someone back to a blog post to get them to sign up, or a landing page or a squeeze page to get someone to sign up. Those have got pretty good high conversion rates. That's assuming that the content is any good. But on the other side, if I want someone to come through to a sales page, I'm probably going to choose email and remarketing to get them through to that sales page. So make sure that you decide the goal and that the traffic match. Make sure that you match those up, but don't decide the traffic first. A lot of the time we kind of come into these situations and we talk to a lot of our customers and they'll say, yeah, we're investing loads in Facebook traffic to go through to this sales page. And I think, well, why have you done that? And they go, well, we started with the Facebook traffic. We knew we had a Facebook traffic budget. I'm like, you've gone completely off the rails here. That's not the right way to do this. Number 3, you need to ask yourself, have I earned the right to sell? Now, this is becoming more and more important in my everyday life, is have I earned the right to sell to this person? If I'm going to be sending any kind of sales email, any kind of sales collateral, sales page or sales training or sales webinar, have I earned the right to sell to them? It's kind of like thinking, well, if I go up to a bar and just say to someone, hey, will you marry me? Have I earned the right to say that? No, probably not. That can take months or even years worth of work to get to that stage, to ask for that kind of commitment. Here's what's funny, is that if we have a product that we know that sells, for example, a customer of ours sells courses to accountants, sells online learning to accountants. We know the product sells, okay? They have new products every single month, every single week even, and their prices keep going up. However, if I bought just a bunch of email addresses of accountants and I knew they're accountants and I knew that they would be potential customers and just hammered them with sales emails, I haven't earned that right. Even though I know that later on, and we've done this test, that we might see some of those guys through different methods end up signing up and buying later on. But just hammering them with sales emails to begin with, we haven't earned the right to sell to these people yet. And the reason for that is that we haven't built up enough trust or enough of a relationship with that customer. We need to make sure that the trust levels are high, that they see us as a part of their life, they see us as valuable, they see us as helpful. We need to have earned the right to be able to position something in front of them. The rule of thumb is that the more you give up front, the more that you give away beforehand with your free content, your training, your webinars, your videos, your blog posts, YouTube videos, all this kind of stuff. The more you give away up front, the more you can ask for in return. It's a really funny flip. And the more I kind of experiment with these things and talk about these things, the more sure I am that actually your price should reflect what you've given away already. And then the next stage after they buy is kind of like, oh my God, there's even more stuff available. I think that more and more with a lot of industries, that's how that's going to end up working. You also need to demonstrate that you're helpful. And if you haven't demonstrated that you're helpful, which we'll come on to next, that's probably why you're not making the sales yet. So have you earned the right to sell to them? If you haven't earned the right to sell to them, you need to be more helpful, which brings us on to point number 4. So you need to ask yourself, where have I demonstrated that I'm helpful? Now, like I said, we can use this line of questioning for our products. We use this at Sell Your Service. We use this at MeBox. We use this for our customers. Where have I demonstrated that I've been helpful? Have I put out helpful training? Have I given away information and help and content and resources in order to make someone's life genuinely better? If I haven't actually improved someone's life, then why would they trust me when I hand over some money to them? The funny thing about sales is that if I say to someone and send the exact same sales letter to someone who trusts me, knows me, likes me, understands what I do, they found me themselves, I've been nurturing them, I've been talking to them, I have a dialogue, I have a conversation with them, and I send them a sales letter and say, hey James, did you know that I've got this course, it's $1,000, you're going to absolutely love it, they will buy, okay? And we have customers like that who will buy essentially from every sales letter that we put out in front of them. But on the other side, if I sent that same sales letter to people who had never heard of me before, they would completely ignore it and they wouldn't be willing to read that. And that kind of goes the same way with helpful content as well. I can't just throw a webinar at someone. I have to gradually build up to the point where I've put enough useful content in front of them to the point where they think, well, this might be worth the hour to learn this. This might be worth the $9 or $19 to buy this and read into it. I constantly have to be thinking, have I demonstrated that I'm helpful? Frank Kern has got this saying where he says he's got this radical novel idea where he's going to prove that he's helpful to people by actually being helpful, which is kind of insane. So demonstrate that you can actually help people by helping them. Now, this relies on two things. First of all, you have to know what your audience wants. You have to know what they want help with. And secondly, you have to be willing to help them. If it's not an area that you really care about or that you're willing to put effort into, then why would they bother returning the favor? Unless you're willing to put everything you can into helpful, useful content, then no one else is going to be bothered coming back to you. Now, you've got tons of options when it comes to being helpful. And we talk about this in some other blog posts, and I'll make sure to link them below. You've got training videos, you've got blogs, you've got webinars, you've got light bulb moments, you've got your lead magnets, your resources, your worksheets, your giveaways, your cheat sheets, you've got presentations, you've got speaking events, you've got audio training, you've got splinter products, ebooks, courses, micro courses, email courses. The list goes on and on and on of the ways that you can be helpful, but only you can decide whether you're going to put that work in. So that pretty much wraps up how we plan our marketing funnels to be high converting, depending on exactly where it is within the stage that where it is within the funnel that each member of our audience is. We might start with the end goal in mind, and it might be a sale, but I have to ask myself, okay, well, how have they come to this page? If I know that they're going to come to that page via email marketing, I've got to ask myself, well, have I earned the right to sell to them? Have I earned the right to send them this email? And before that, I have to think, well, if I haven't earned the right, where am I demonstrating value and where am I demonstrating help to that particular audience? Thanks very much, guys. I've been Mike from Sell Your Service, and I will see you on another video. Remember to like and subscribe and all that kind of shit.